to Roscommon and Galway than Pat is. So what's your vibe down there from it all?
When Galway bet Mayo, I suppose the one thing about Galway is they have a good reputation. When they come with a team, I think people expect them to be a real quality team and they're going to do things. And the fact that they bet Mayo twice in the last couple of years gives them that street cred. Roscommon, on the other hand, I think after 55 minutes against Leitrim, it was 2-15 to 1-2. They obliterated Leitrim. And to take anything out of the game, you couldn't really. Roscommon are, I suppose the big talking point with Roscommon is a lot of the players are missing. Now, Kevin McStay has got on with it. The team have got on with it. They won the last game of the league against Cavan, and they've kind of trying to be positive. And I think they'll take an awful lot out of the semi-final victory over Leitrim, despite the fact it was only Leitrim. They were very poor on the day.
They were, but Roscommon, I suppose, Pat, are a little bit of a fascination at the moment, because a couple of months ago there was fellas going to be thrown in the Shannon and all things were wrong and the whole lot of it, and yet they still arrive at this stage and they kind of fancy themselves a bit on this.
Well, you look back to last year, Michael, where they were unbelievable in the league. You know, beat Kerry away, beat Cork away, beat Donegal away, got into the league semi-final. They were the highest scoring team in Division 1. They were absolutely superb. Then they got an awful hammering from Kerry in the league semi-final. And as a result of that, the whole season seemed to melt in front of them because they panicked. They didn't know what system of play. Should we have still stick to the attacking play, which they decided to ditch? And they suddenly, in midstream, changed horses and adopted an ultra-defensive approach. Now, when you adopt a defensive system, it must suit the players, it must suit the team, it must suit the individual strengths of players, and it certainly didn't. And since that defeat by Kerry, it's been downhill since. Yes, they drew with Galway in last year's Connacht final, but they got annihilated. And since then, you're right, Michael, since then it's been all downhill. 7 National League games, they lost 6, relegated to Division 2. 9 or 10 players who were involved in last year's Connacht final are no longer available for various reasons. And you know, you look at the history books, forget about it, look at the history books. The last time they beat both Galway and Mayo was 2001. That's 16 years ago. They've met 14 times since and have never had victories. But the one big thing though this year, what's different, last year, I think they put all their eggs into one basket. They got ferociously fit, were flying fit for the league. This year, I don't think they trained hard for the league. They're coming in as rank outsiders, and it was all about peaking. They had a good draw in the semi-final. It's all about peaking for a Connacht final today. I think they're dangerous outsiders.
They may well be. All right, team news from Pearse Stadium right now. Over in Galway Bay for us this afternoon, not actually in Galway Bay, but at Galway Bay, is Chair Canning.
Thank you very much, Michael. And this time around, you may be certain that Galway will want to dispose of the Roscommon challenge without any replay, with 22-year-old goalkeeper Rory Lavelle featuring in his first Connacht final. He's playing behind the defence with Declan Kine in the pivotal full-back position and with Owen Kerrin coming in to replace David Wynne at quarterback. There's abundant experience at half-back, with Gareth Bradshaw and Gary O'Donnell having over 60 championship matches between them at this stage, O'Donnell also being the team captain. Fionn O'Corrine missed last summer's championship action, but he's here and he's sent to field today with Paul Conroy. Wing forward Tom Flynn received a black card in the match against Mayo. He lines up this afternoon in the company of Michael Daly and Johnny Heaney. And inside them, Eamon Brannigan comes in for the injured Sean Armstrong, while much of the scoring threat comes from Damien Comer and Shane Walsh. Roscommon's team, announced earlier in the week, shows newcomer Colm Lavin continuing to take over the goalkeeping duties. David Murray was selected but didn't feature in the win over Leitrim, but he lines up today alongside John McManus from Roscommon Gaels, whose dad Tony, of course, won 6 Connacht titles. Shawnee McDermott plays for the Rossies for the 165th time in all competitions, and on the other wing, Conor Devaney will look for another couple of goals like he got in the semi-final. At midfield, Tygo O'Rourke plays in his first final, and Fintan Craig is named in the programme at number 9. Half-forward Enda Smith was a goal scorer here last year, while Brian Stack is playing in his first Connacht final alongside Niall Kilroy. And the inside line is dominated by the Murta brothers, Diarmid, and the team captain Kieran, already the scorer of 5 goals and 31 points in the championship. Well, Roscommon and their manager Kevin McStay recognise that the odds are very clearly against them, but Galway's Kevin Walsh will want to build upon the achievements of the past 12 months. Michael, throw in here is at 2 o'clock, or that, in other words, about 15 minutes from now. Figure from a Roscommon point of view, underhit this one, straight to Colm Lavin. Conor Devaney, or Devaney rather, picking up position on the right half-back position in the early stages of this match. Once again, Enda Smith getting hands on ball in as far as Sean Mullooly. Second attack mounted by Roscommon. What can they do this time with Kieran Murtagh hitting it with great accuracy. Just over a minute gone. Roscommon lead. First point from their second attack.
And 3 attacks, Ger. One of the men's up with a score from Kieran Murtagh. And both him and Dermot Murtagh and Enda Smith.
About the way in which Roscommon have lined up here. They've got 3 old-style inside forwards, as it were, putting pressure on the Galway kick-out, but it's a Galway kick-out that's in difficulty, and that one is planted by Dermot Murtagh. And the Murtaghs between them get the opening 2 points. And there's an example of what you're talking about, the kick-out going all wrong.
Yeah, and I think we can watch that all day. I certainly have noticed all summer where goalkeepers kick out. They're under pressure to kick short kick-outs, and they do it when it's...
Lully. And there's a player on the ground, it's Cian Connolly, shaking the head there by Declan Kine. There was a jersey pull.
Yeah, a little bit of a tug, made the most of it.
Takers and right-footed free takers. Easy one for Kieran Murtagh. Right up to the 13-metre line at this stage.
Well, brought in for a little bit of dissension there.
Referee not standing for any kind of nonsense. Referee David Goff from Meath. This should be straight over. They got their 3rd point, and he's got his 2nd. Playing in his 19th championship match, who will kick this. It's about 40 metres out. Breeze in his face. Needs to make it. And he obliges. 3-1.
Yeah, class kick by a class player. You'll see an awful lot of him today. Travels the pitch, plays in defence and attack.
This ball out as far as Niall Kilroy. Hasn't always been a first choice, as it were, in the first 15 of Roscommon, getting his opportunity in this particular final. Enda Smith once again. His brother Donny is one of the subs. Here's Shawnee McDermott. Player has played in all 4 divisions of the Alliance League for Roscommon. Back to Tygo O'Rourke. Just holding it up here outside the Galway 65-metre line. Craig, back from O'Rourke, back from Shawnee McDermott now. Chance for Sean Mullooly. Once more, the referee has spotted something inside this time, and there's going to be another free kick.
He has spotted stuff. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Spotted a tug of a jersey by Declan Kine again, and that's his 2nd time for being noticed, and he's going. I'd say he's going into the book at this stage.
It certainly is.
And when Galway defence was in no danger whatsoever, in fact, the only packed defence they have is Johnny Heaney sitting back. That's all they're doing. Roscommon find it hard to find a man inside.
That's 2 yellow cards against Galway players so far. And once again, Roscommon having this opportunity to tag on a point. Once more, it's Kieran Murtagh. It'll curl in brilliantly. Well judged.
That's a great kick, Ger. Off his right foot, curls it in, uses the way.
Galway.
Ger, some very good defending by Roscommon, in particular Enda Smith. He was the only man inside to stop that attack. They're forcing Galway to shoot from a distance against the wind.
That is a great kick out by Colin Lavin and a great take by Enda Smith. Moving forward once again with some purpose. Making sure he doesn't foul the ball at this stage, however, running into challenges. Out came Kine. Backed up here well by Tygo O'Rourke. In as far as Kilroy. John McManus now. Picking it up here, Kieran Murtagh. Conor Devaney looking at it, watching it, and it's gone over the bar. Clare got 2 goals and a point against Leitrim in the semi-final, and it's 5-1.
Yeah, what a great score by Conor Devaney. Super catch. Look by Enda Smith. In my book, one of the top players in the country.
Another kick out that has caused problems. Yeah, Johnny Heaney from the short kick out, held too long. Good control, discipline by the forwards of Roscommon to force the error. Another free kick. Goalkeeper in real difficulty in this match with those kickouts.
I think they're crazy kickouts, given the circumstances, into the wind. They have very little hope, not enough spare men, and when they're spare, they don't have enough room, and Roscommon really crowd them when they get that ball.
It's going to be Dermot this time who will take it, a left-footed free taker. Kieran, his brother's already got 3 points, 2 frees included in that tally. That's a 2nd today for Dermot Byrne. Pops out of his hands, but goes back eventually to Gareth Bradshaw. Neatly in here, collected by Shane Walsh. has the class and the talent to really make it count in this Connacht final. And there is an illustration of that. He's their only scorer so far. First point to come from play, and it's taken nearly 14 minutes.
Yeah, and you know the wind is there, because he had an opportunity to take that score about 5 yards before he did so, but he knew he had to take it in. That's the difficult for Galway, is getting close enough to score.
All the way down to Dermot Murtagh. Beautifully into Connolly. Cian Connolly slots it in. Goal after 14 minutes. What a goal at that.
But Jerry, we could see it here. It was the crossfield ball. What a ball. Look at it there. Picks out the man. Full-back caught out of position. Turns, and then he picks his spot. Beats the full-back and the goalkeeper.
That is an absolute punch of a goal.
Was the man. Super goal. Brilliant goal. Great ball.
3 players involved for the decisive final goal scored by Cian Connolly from Roscommon Girls. It's 1-6 to 2 points. Is an upset on here in the Connacht final.
It just doesn't happen like that anymore.
There are no poor teams at this stage in the championship, or there shouldn't be. Dermot Murtagh again ballooning it away to the left-hand side, and suddenly they've run up 5 wides, Roscommon, and they could be shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, I think if
Shawnee McDermott kicked by McManus and kicked wide by McManus. 24-year-old, great talent, wonderfully skilled forward. This is a very, very tricky free kick for him. Galway having hit the goalpost a few moments ago. Driving it in, but driving it wide at the same time.
Yeah, not good from Galway.
Go with the goal attempt. Michael Daly striking it. Goalkeeper looked to be beaten.
And he was beaten, except for the post, kept it out.
Oh, so unlucky from a Galway point of view. Stays at 1-6 to 2 points.
And you mentioned
or Murtagh rather once again. Cross here to McManus, in as far as Dermot Murtagh. Will that have the necessary accuracy? It just about does. It's a great kick. It's another one for Dermot Murtagh, and that's his 3rd point. 2 from play, and it's 1-7 to 2 points with half an hour, nearly 31 minutes gone.
And not just a great kick, but a good build-up to that score. Loads of composure, easy slip balls. Give it to the man who's there to kick it. These guys, the Murtaghs are ready to put it enough to get it free on that occasion.
1 minute of additional time will be played when we reach 35. Shane Walsh straight in front of goal. It'll be point number 3. It'll mean there'll be 7 between them heading into the half-time break. Every score so vitally important, so he took maximum time over it. Kevin Walsh will have much to say, but then he will have that breeze behind his team for the second 35 minutes. He'd hope they'll be a lot sharper.
Isn't it difficult to believe that there's been one scorer from Galway in the whole 35 minutes of play, and
in Galway by 1 goal and 7 points to 3 points. That's the scoring record from that first half, but there was a lot of the first half when there was no figures at all going up on the scoreboard. We thought we weren't going to see a score again. Pat Spillane, you infamously described a match many years ago as puke football. Any advance on that?
No, Michael, I've decided in recent times that I've had a sort of St. Paul-like conversion on the road to Damascus. And if there's something bad now, I see the goodness in everything. I see my glass is always half full, so...
I thought you were saying there for a second your glasses are half full.
Yeah, I'm going to plead the Fifth Amendment and sort of say, the words of the song, you say it best when you say nothing at all. So maybe I'll give that answer a skip, Michael. But yes, you're right, it was very poor. The last 20... Now, we don't know how bad the conditions are, right? So we'll say the conditions are bad. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But for 22 minutes, 1 score from play, another score from a free, deplorable attempts at scoring, deplorable attacking play. It was woeful. Look, it looked like that this Galway boys got, as you said earlier on, got a bit carried away after their victory over Mayo, decided it was only a matter of turning up today and collecting the trophy, and hadn't read the script. The Roscommon boys are up for a battle in the Smith controlling the game. Do you know the things we highlighted at the start of the game? We highlighted our Galway the real deal. We highlighted problems with kick-outs. We highlighted problems in the full back line. We highlighted problems maybe in attack, despite having good attackers. All those problems have come home to roost. Roscommon brilliant in the first half, deservedly 7 points ahead,
yes.
but 9 wides kicked and they might rue that.
Yeah. And
But it wasn't a good game, Michael, by the way. So
no, that's not taking
what I
away
wanted
from the
to
fact
tell
that Roscommon are leading this match and heading their way to a Connacht championship. But Pat touched on it there, Desi. The Galway kickouts, you guys spoke about that, as he said, before the match, and it was like a nightmare coming true as the way it was going.
And that's the one thing I would say with Rory Lavelle. Kevin McStay has got his tactics very well in this game, or done very well, because he's putting pressure on the kick-out. He's making it difficult, and we see it here, he's going short, but the Roscommon players are light with a lot of pressure going on, and that's the difference. And Kevin obviously identified it. He's going to go short. He's looking to go short at every...
Second of his 3 points. Well, this will be point number 4 anyway for the team. It's taken away by Daly in the end. 4 players were involved in that. Comer looking to really find a bit of form in this final and find the range as well. That's a bit better. 2 in a row by Galway. Now it's 1-7 to 5 points.
Yeah, robbed the ball, put him under pressure coming out, the Bally under pressure coming out. Great tackling, 3 forwards, and the counter-attack is so fast. Daly taking it away.
Roscommon. At this stage, they're probably ruining all those missed opportunities that they had, but they're in a good position here, in advanced position. It's McManus. And the referee has blown for a free. The ball had gone wide anyway from McManus, but the referee had decided there was a foul, and so belatedly blows his whistle for a free kick.
Yeah, it does, because just as he's about to kick the ball, watch it here, turns onto his left hand on the right shoulder. It's certainly a free, can't do that. And you got the feeling, Jerry, even at half-time, that Roscommon hadn't done enough in the first half, and I was looking at Kevin McStay coming out, and he knows deep down that they should really...
Will kick the point from the free from 20 metres out, and that is his 4th of the match. 2 from play, 2 from frees. Liam McHale and Kevin McStay down there. Jerry Dowd as well. Brian Stack has made a great run. Great run! Brilliant run! What a championship goal that is for the 20-year-old from St. Bridget's. And it comes after 41 minutes. Galway's goal breached for the 2nd time. A brilliant individual score from Brian Stack. His first ever time to get a goal in the championship, and he's done it here in Salt Hill. And that's put it up to the tribesmen. And Roscommon come again with Sean Mullooly. Stack back out to Mullooly once again, head down into the breeze. Carried forward here by Diarmuid Murtagh. They tried to rob him. Taken off the goal line eventually by Cathal Sweeney. Suddenly that Galway defence looking extremely porous.
Exceptionally porous and looking very good for Roscommon at the minute. That's the injection they needed. Yeah, they're in a great position, Ger.
Well, 2-8. That's 14 points to 5. So 9 points the margin. Can Galway come back from this? If Roscommon drop a lead of 9 points, admittedly only 7 minutes into the second half, it will be some Connacht final loss for them. So it's intriguing, absolutely fascinating Connacht final match. Paul Conroy to kick it. That looks very strong, very accurate, very much needed.
It gives them an opportunity. Watch this. I mean, the super.
So Shane Walsh, easy little tap over the appetite. Conroy on his shoulders is Gary O'Donnell, and they reel off 3 in a row. Great score, and moving across smartly to collect this line ball, taking it upon himself to show leadership, to give some direction, to show accuracy with a wonderful kick in his 6th of the day so far. 2 from play, 4 from frees. The margin's down to 5.
Yeah, what a display he's giving. Certainly a great score. Had 2 opportunities. Took the second one. Took it with aplomb. Roscommon under pressure. Not putting pressure on the kicking. And Galway now with a kick from distance.
Colm Lavin hitting it into the middle of the field. Galway attack it in numbers. Gary O'Donnell sweeping it back out to Gary Sice. Across here to Conroy, unchallenged, kicks again, and scores again. It's a golden spell for Galway. They've finally woken up, but it took the concession of the second goal to do that. They're woken from their slumber at this stage, kicking outside the D and making it 2-8 to 10 points.
Oh.
Well, Roscommon considering a change. Enda Smith, beautiful ball to Fintan Craig. The other number 9's after him, O'Corleen. He's made a lot of ground. Lays it off here. Cian Connolly puts it wide, and that is one they badly needed, Roscommon, to stem the tide. And they missed.
Yeah, what a terrible miss. The goal was on, certainly on as Craig came through.
He started it, he's continuing it, he's passing it in dangerously into Comer. Walsh and Daly here, beautifully over the bar. Michael Daly, first point. A lovely sweeping move. That's where it started. That's where Shane Walsh won the ball back from Cian Connolly. And this is where it ended. And it's now 2-8 to 11. It was a 9-point lead. It's now down to 3.
Yeah, and very achievable by Galway at this stage. There's a point here, but the referee, no indecision whatsoever, sees it. There is a pull. Watch at the bottom of your screen. Their hand on the back again. It's very minor, very mild, and incensed. Oh, he's incensed. Owen Kevin is incensed with that one. But that's all the referee sees, is the touch on the back. That's all he needs to see.
Dermot Berta. Cheers ringing in his ears from the Galway fans, but he puts it over the bar. He's got 5, and Roscommon have got another one, and it's 2-9 to 11 points.
But David Goff has been on that all day, Jerry. He's had that peripheral vision to see all the activity that's not on the ball.
Declan O'Keefe there in the background, part of Kevin McStay's management team. He looks after the goalkeeper. Former Kerry goalkeeper, of course. That kick out is won back again by Roscommon. Enda Smith's work is brilliant. He's been beavering away there all match. Outside to Kieran Murta. Beautifully in towards Connolly, who's excelled. Dermot Murta. Does it go in? No, it doesn't.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It should have gone in. He shouldn't have hit it so high. He should just put it over the bar. That was a great scoring opportunity by Dermot Murta. But what a ball turned
into 20 metres out. It's 2 against 1, and the 2 represent Galway players. Damien Comer, what a super point. A second for him, both coming in the second half. So it's back to a 3-point game again.
And no more than we expected from him, but watch what Niall McInerney did. He did absolutely everything.
It off to Donny Smith. At his most dangerous inside, of course. Clever ball in here. And that one has gone over the bar. Cian Connolly adding to the goal he got after 14 minutes. Shows leadership. Good to see a player coming, looking for the ball, wanting to influence the game. He's having a marvellous match. Beautifully down towards his brother. Donny couldn't hold it, but it comes back out towards Brian Stack. Kicked across here and kicked over the bar. What a point that is. Donny Smith pops up on cue. That's a terrific score. That's his 11th ever championship point from an acute angle. What a day to do it. 2-11 to 12 points. 11 minutes left.
That was an absolutely super score. A great effort.
Donny Smith back here. They can't afford to foul it now at the end of all of this. They get it back. Enda Smith again. There's Murray. Stayed forward. He's cornered back. Whole group of Galway players eventually pick that ball up inside their own 45. Murray again puts in the challenge on Conroy. Finally, Michael Lundy sweeps it away out to his right-hand side. Out here as far as the captain, Gary O'Donnell. Will he be collecting the Nestor Cup? There's work to do if he's going to do so, and he'll need a better ball than that one. Straight to Kilroy. Held onto by John McManus. His dad, Tony, the winner of 6 Connacht titles, is young John. Going to get his first here this afternoon. Conor Devaney going backwards. The one thing they cannot afford to do, which they did last year, is to go back into defensive mode. When they attack, they're capable of getting scores. We saw that.
There's so much time on the ball, there's so much space. Seems to be so many Roscommon players around. Ready to give it back. When they look up and can't go forward, they have loads of opportunities behind them, and they're the ones with the score on the board and time on their side.
Now Kilroy back out towards Conor Devaney. John McManus again. Lundy goes after him. Roscommon will be just happy to knock it around here now, having that comfortable lead. Beautifully into the corner once again to Cian Connolly.
Yeah, and they've won every ball going into that corner. He has won every single ball that's gone down into that corner all afternoon.
7 minutes left. 2-11 to 12 points. What's that, 5 between them?
Well, they're certainly not watching a Connacht final from an intensity point of view, Ger.
Kilbride collected here by Devaney. Back in here again, Kilbride. And that one's gone wide. Kick out to Galway. They're in a bit of a hurry now, Ian Kilbride and company. But it's Galway need to show the urgency.
I don't know, Ger, I'm looking at that Galway team and they look flat-footed, they look dead-legged. I'm looking at some of them running. It's an effort on them to run. They're certainly not getting to the tackles. They're not getting to the pitch of the game. There's no pace in their play whatsoever.
No Galway score for 10 minutes. We've seen loads of Roscommon possession. O'Rourke down towards Donny Smith. It was said in some places that the Connacht final was a couple of weeks poised for victory number 3 with Donny Smith blasting it over.
Today.
This ball finally comes out here towards Shane Walsh. Dragging him back, however, his marker there, Cian Connolly. And Connolly has already been yellow carded. And if the referee decides to take further action, which I think he's going to do, it could mean Roscommon finishing the match with just 14 players. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right, Jerry, yeah. He takes a walk. Yeah. Difficult one, Cian Connolly, but he's had some game, he's made some contribution, and even that foul there, that's a contribution because it's another 20-30 seconds on the clock run down.
It was a very tired-looking foul from Connolly. His big moment is wonderful goal coming in the first half after 14 minutes. The numbers 1 and 4 were the key numbers because he scored in the 14th minute and Brian Stack scored in last possession. Well, it's a great moment for Kevin McStay, for Liam McHale, and for all of them involved. And that one's gone over the bar. That should wrap it up. That's Devaney getting his second. That surely is the cup for Roscommon in the Connacht Championship.
And what a way for him to finish this game. Conor Devaney, what a score. Roscommon totally dominant now, and they can afford to beat.
And the foul on Ronan Stack there, and it begins to heat up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Okay, I think frustration by Galway. And not standing back by Roscommon. But they don't need that. I think Galway just have to take their beating. They didn't deserve to win here, Jared, this afternoon. They didn't do enough. They didn't play good enough football. They didn't have enough leadership. Roscommon had all those attributes.
They made an awful start. They never truly recovered.
And then Roscommon got those goals at a key time. Now, very difficult in this situation for a see it put up, Jared, but there can't be any more than 2 or 3 minutes because there was very few medical stoppages or any
Black
other
card
stoppages.
for Paul Conroy. So he's gone. Then, next player to be dealt with, Michael Lundy.
There's one down, another 3 or 4
He's
to
got
go.
a red card.
Red. Yeah.
That will impact on the next game because Galway will be playing in the qualifiers. And there's another card issued there to Tyger O'Rourke. So he's got a red, so they both finish with 14 players.
Yeah, well, Tyger O'Rourke had a smile after getting a yellow card.
8 minutes of additional time we've now been told, so there's another 4 to go or 5 to go. That's another one, and that is Devaney again. 3 for him. It's getting better. Far from being under pressure laid on from a Galway team you would expect to be battling to get the last few scores to pin Roscommon back. It's quite the opposite.
No, it's totally the opposite. 8 points, beating Galway by 8 points in Salthill in a Connacht final. Underdogs at the very beginning, but they put on all enough and they haven't been doing enough, and last year should have been a shock for them. Their exit in the championship against Tipperary should have been enough for them not to have learnt that lesson.
That's Killoran, and he's got a score as well. The margin's out to 9 as it was at one stage after they scored their second goal. And then you remember that Galway did manage to get it back to 3.
Well, it's a rout at this stage. They've been totally overhauled.
A word, or commiserate maybe I should say, with Kevin Walsh. No Galway score for over 20 minutes. It's a 9-point victory for Roscommon. The outsiders have come to Galway. They have won the Nestor Cup for the first time since 1978. It's the first time they've won the title for 7 years. They've beaten Galway in Galway, and they have hammered them in the Connacht final. No doubt whatsoever about it. Well prepared by their manager Kevin McStay and the coaching team. They richly deserved their title. They richly and truly earned their victory. And this is how they're going to celebrate, in style, with passion, with commitment, with fervour. The look of champions, what it means to be supporting winners, what it means to be in the doldrums for so long, to be written off by many people in a province where Mayo dominated for years, and then where Galway were always likely to take up the mantle if Mayo slipped. But today was the day of Roscommon football. They came good. They performed some sparkling football this afternoon. They scored 2 cracking goals. This young man will remember it, as it's a special day for his team. And here in Pearse Stadium in Salt Hill, they are the champions, and they are supporting the champion. Roscommon are Connacht champions for 2017.
11 of them are under 23 years of age. They can represent Roscommon now for the next 7-8 years if that's what they want out of their football careers. And this is a great launch for us. This is a great launch. We're so looking forward now to Croke Park in an All-Ireland quarter-final.
Definitely we left ourselves too much to do at half-time. Certainly got back into it. As I said, 1 or 2 little things went against us maybe in that period that certainly took a little bit of momentum off us, but look, I'm not going to make excuse of that. We deserve to be second best today.
Well, that's honest from Kevin. The scenes at the end are incredible, Colin, aren't they? I mean, you see the passion. Look, your man is more excited than all the kids running out there for Roscommon. But you, Colin, were one of the few people I heard who said Roscommon are in with a big chance here, because most people had Galway red-hot favourites. Why did you say that in advance?
Yeah, well, I have to say I tipped Galway as well, but I did give Roscommon a huge chance, because I think they were coming in. I think Galway were hyped up an awful lot after beating Mayo, and we've seen Galway last year. They've fallen against Tipperary. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So I was a little bit unconvinced by him, and I think for Roscommon, for Kevin McStay, they pinpointed this match all year long. A Connacht final, they were coming on the softer side of the draw as it turned out, and they were just ready to peak today.
Kind of shows the provincial title still does mean a lot for people who said it doesn't.
100%. If you look at the Roscommon footballers and the scenes there and the scenes in dressing rooms, the provincials mean an awful lot to those teams, and when they upset one of the biggers.
Tomas, right from the start, I know Roscommon had the wind, which probably helped them, but they were putting Galway under pressure from the very start, and the Galway kick-out creaked.
They did, Des, and look, there's such a focus on the kick-out in the modern game, and many teams use it as the platform to start attacks, and you like to set the tone, and Galway were under pressure from the very start. You know, they've a young goalie, you know, Rory Lavelle, and he was under pressure a little bit early on. He went short early, they get turned over, and, you know, a score for Roscommon. You know, the next kick out again, looks to go short again. Roscommon are all over it, they sniff it out, and Roscommon had their homework done, and you know, it's not just the goalkeeper will ultimately be the one with the focus on him, but there's not a lot of movement there from, even if that ball goes to hand, the Galway player doesn't have much support coming. And you know, statistically, a lot of people look at kickouts. This in the second half will be the key, for me, the key score of the game. This goal changed the game, really put Roscommon in the driving seat, and again, it comes from a poor kick out, you know, and you look at the space that, you know, in fairness, Breen Stack has a lot to do when he wins it, but the intent he has when he goes, he puts the jets on, and in fairness puts it low into the corner, and it's a brilliant goal. But again, it's unnecessary, and you know, Galway won nearly 60% of their kickouts, which the statistics will tell you that's a win. But in the reality, 2 of those first kickouts, they won the kickout, but they ended up conceding scores off it. I think 1-3 came directly from Galway's kickout today, so Roscommon will be delighted, but that's something Galway will have to look at.
And perhaps that reflected on their intensity generally, Colin.
Yeah, I think Roscommon brought huge intensity to the game, the hunger. Like I say, I think they really pinpointed this game from a long way out, and you could see that in the first tackle here. You can see John McManus goes in, tackles one player, takes off after another player and wins the ball. They were winning all the individual battles right across the field all day, and that summed up Roscommon today. Again, coming forward here, coming through the middle, Sean Muller comes across, superb block, and he's up on his feet again, ready to defend. They were hunting in packs, 6s and 7s, and that shows fierce hunger. And the final nail in the coffin was late on in the match. Colin Compton, the sub who comes on, comes across and absolutely levels the Galway cornerback. And you can see what it means to the Roscommon players right at the end. That people say provincials are over, you can see what it means to those players, and that sums up Roscommon's day.
Yeah, Kevin McStay had come in for a lot of criticism as well, hadn't he, within Roscommon after their league form?
Yeah, he has, and to be fair, he's had to put up a lot of it over the last couple of months, and he's kept his counsel, and he's been very bullish about being ready for the Connacht final, and by God, were they ready today.
Yeah. Well, you're going to point out for us, Tomas, a contrast in the attack that maybe reflected the whole day for both sides.
Yeah, look, it was difficult conditions up there, but Roscommon played some wonderful football, and if you look at this, you know, this is as good a goal as we've seen in the championship so far this year. Dermot Murtagh with an excellent crossfield ball, and Cian Connolly, in fairness, he makes a brilliant run. He shows out to the right here. It's very hard for a cornerback to mark with that much space around it, but he trusts that Dermot Murtagh is good enough to get the ball into him in the danger zone. And when he gets it to hand, this is brilliant. He just passes it into the corner of the net. That's as good a finish as you're going to see. But again, a couple of minutes later, Dermot Murtagh, something very similar, crossfield ball to Fintan Craig. You know, this is high-class football in tough conditions, and, you know, Roscommon showed that at times today.
And I suppose the flip side of it we see here is Gary O'Donnell running up the field, kicking the ball senselessly, kicking into gale force wind in Salt Hill. Galway are better than this, and it's surprised me so much. Again, Tom Flynn here, easy pass into Micheál Daly, a bounce pass inside, but he opts for the more difficult pass into Danny Cummins, small corner forward who comes on. So they were just off the pace today, Galway, for whatever reason. And
because it's very different from the Mayo performance, isn't it?
It was, and you could see that they had two different spells today of over 20 minutes in either half where they didn't score. You know, so they were playing in fits and starts. They had a brilliant response when Roscommon got the second goal. Galway came down and hit 5 scores, and it looked like they were going to kick on and really drive. But then it just fell away again.
Roscommon now going into the quarter-finals, Kevin McStay said, means so much to them. How will they get on? Because of the provincial finalists, they would have been seen as the weaker ones, wouldn't they?
They would be seen as the weak ones, but this is the huge opportunity for them now. And you could see how emotional Kevin was, and how he even referenced already how much they're looking forward to being back in Crow Park. And look, these are fantastic scenes, and you know, like the players, the enjoyment they're going to get out of it today and tomorrow, and you know, even it's rare that you get to see into dressing rooms, and even if you see the sign, honesty of effort, absence of ego, and you know that was obvious in their performance today, and they can be proud of it. But the big challenge is now, are they happy with that? Is that enough for them for the year? Are they going to, you know, is there going to be a big fall off, and are they going to try and reproduce? So that's the challenge for them, to try and get back up to that level again and beyond for a quarter final.
Okay, time for man of the match. So, Colin, who are the nominees?
Yeah, well, mostly on the Roscommon side, which is no surprise. First up was Niall Kilroy, number 11 today. Played all over the field. Was a great link for Roscommon throughout the day. Was in defence, was in attack. Super performance. Second up was Conor Devaney. Played left half back. 3 points from play days. Up and down that left wing all day. Amazing performance from him. And in the middle of the field, Inda Smith controlled the game. Was very dominant. Gave Roscommon the platform that they needed. And he was a real star for them today.
Okay, who did you plug for in the end, Tomas?
Yeah, it was very close, but we went for Enda Smith. You know, his overall performance, he made a couple of brilliant high catches, and then in the second half, when the game needed to be taken by the scruff of the neck, he was very cool and composed on the ball, and really top class display.
Oh, well, good for him. Let's hear from Enda then. He spoke with Ger after the game.
That was a superb victory. How do you feel about it at this stage?
Oh, it's unbelievable, George. You know, you can see there the crowd on the pitch, what it means to all the fans. And I suppose we've had a few tough years the last few years. No more so than last year. The championship was a tough one, but to do that, to win a Connacht final today over in Salt Hill against Galway, doesn't really get any better than that.
To do it in their home and to win by 9 points at that.
Yeah, it was. You know, we knew we wanted to go with the wind in the first half, and we knew if we had some sort of a lead, we could try and carry it on for the second half. But you know, up by 7 at half time, it could have been a lot more. We know we did miss a lot, but I think the 9 points probably deserved in the end. You know, we did have a majority of the ball throughout the game.
And you are the Ayr man of the match, and Jerry King is here to present it to you. It's all yours. Congratulations, Enda. Well done.
That's his family in the background. Well done, Enda. Now let's catch up with all of the action from the 4 qualifiers